Hi. This is the structure of the skeletal system. The structure of the skeletal system consists of all of the bones in the body and the cartilage, tendons and ligaments that join them together. It is involved in many vital functions of the body, including holding it up, protecting organs. Without the skeleton, the body would just be a sack of organs held together by skin. This here is the skeleton. These are all of the bones that consist of the skeletal that are in the skeletal system. Here you can see the rib cage. This holds all of the most, let's say, the most vital organs in the body, because it has the heart inside there, the lungs, and all the function of the skeletal system. The skeletal system have 5 main functions. That is for shape and support, protection, movement, and blood cell production and storage. So my mistake, that was 4. It is in a specific shape to cover and support the organs, e.g. the skull holds the brain. So let's say the skull is in a square shape. The brain is in a more rounded shape, so it wouldn't be in the right shape to hold the brain. For protection, the skeleton protects the vital organs from damage by causing them with hard bones. An example of this would be the rib cage. The rib cage is very hard, so it protects the heart, the lungs, so it's there to support it. So if the rib cage wasn't really hard, then it would be very easy for the lungs and the heart to damage quickly. For support, the skeleton provides support to the body and holds internal organs in their place. An example of this then again could be the cranium, because it holds the brain in its place, so it doesn't really float around much because it's held in place by the cranium. Blood cell production and storage. The spongy tissue inside long bones, such as the femur or thigh bone, have 2 types of are responsible for blood cell production. You can read the rest here, honey. The vertebral column. The vertebral column may also be known as the spinal column. So that's in the back here. It starts all the way from the top of your head to your tail. The spinal column is comprised of 26 individual bones. These bones are referred to as the vertebrae. It is a column that starts at the head and it ends at the tail. The major functions of the vertebrae column are to protect the spinal cord, providing stiffening for the body and attachment for the pectoral and pelvic girdle and many other muscles, providing motion for the human skeleton and transmitting body weight in walking and standing. So without the vertebral column, will just be just like that. The vertebral column is what keeps our back straight. It helps us to move, stand straight, and it supports the whole. Long bones are some of the longest bones in the body, such as the femur, the humerus, the tibia, and also some of the smallest, including the metacarpals, metatarsals, and the phalanges. Long bones, they're always longer than they are wide. So an example of this will be over here in the
What's it called?
Huh?
What's it called?
What's it called?
Yeah.
I know what it's called. It's the femur. So it's very long, but it's not as long as it is. It's not as wide as it is long, because it's a long bone. So that's one of the characteristics of a long bone. It's longer than it is wide, and it doesn't always have to be the big bones that are the long bones, because they can also happen in the hand right here. Because this is longer than it is wide, so that makes it a long bone. The outside surface, in contrast to the inside, is very hard and strong. So although the outside of the long bones are very hard, the inside are very soft. Short bones are bones in the body that are approximately as wide as they are long. So that is completely the opposite of long bones, because it's basically equal side approximately. An example of this could be over here in the carpals, because it's the same width as it is in length. Their function is providing support and stability within little movement. Examples of short bones are the carpals and the tarsals. They consist of only a thin layer of compact, hard bone with cancellous bone on the inside, along with the relatively large amounts of bone marrow. Flat bones are, just as they sound, they're strong, flat plates of the bone with the main function of providing protection to the body's vital organs and being based for muscular attachment. A common example of this will be the roof of a skull. See, it's flat, it's not as really thick, but it is very strong because it's there because the brain is one of the most important organs in the body. So it's there to protect the skull. That's why it's very hard, strong and flat. Irregular bones are bones in the body which do not fall into any other category. This is due to their non-uniform shape. A good example of this is the mandible, so that's the lower jaw. They primarily consist of cancellous bone with a thin outlayer of compact bone. So over here, the mandible, that is an irregular bone because of its ununiform shape. Sesamoid bones. Sesamoid bones are usually short or irregular bones embedded with a tendon. The most obvious example of this will be in the patella, the kneecap, because it sits within the patella or the quadriceps tendon. So in the kneecap, this is a sesamoid bone. Comparing and contrasting. Long bones are longer than they are wide, whereas short bones have the same length as their width. Long bones and short bones are both hard on the outside and short. They're both hard on the outside and soft on the inside. Flat bones, long bones and short bones are all very hard bones with the function to protect their organs. This is the muscular system right here. It's a very big image. You can see this image, right?
No. Yes, sir.
You can see the later image, but yeah. You can't really see the words. If you need to, you can come and step up and see it. Alright. So, and we're going to start with antagonistic pairs. So those are muscles that create movement when one, the prime mover, contracts, the other antagonistic relaxes. So a common example of this could be within the biceps and the triceps. So when you're doing bicep curls, the bicep is the prime mover. So this contracts, and when this contracts, the triceps relax. Fixator, a muscle that acts as a stabilizer of one part of the body during movement of another part. For another example, that is the bicep curl. Synergist. A synergist is a kind of muscle that performs or helps perform the same set of joint motion as the agonist. For example, the biceps and the brachioradials. Types of contraction. There are 4 types of contraction: isometric, concentric, eccentric, isokinetic. Isometric contraction is a contraction in which muscles are activated. It is held at a constant length. An example of this is carrying an object in front of you. The weight of the object will be pulling you down. So a very good example would be holding the football out with your arms straight. The football has weight, but you're actually putting the same weight in your arm to hold it up in a straight place. So your arms will be stiffened and your arms will be held out long. Concentric is when a muscle is required to lift the load, which is less than the maximum tension it can generate. The muscle shortens. A good example of a concentric contraction is in the raising of a weight during a bicep curl. So let's say you're lifting a weight that is not as heavy as you could lift. Your muscle, it's not really to the maximum tension that you can generate, so the muscle will shorten when you're lifting it. Eccentric. Muscles are often active while they are lengthening. A classic example of this is walking. When the quadriceps, the knee extensions, are active just after a heel strike while the knee flexes. So, like when you're walking, isokinetic. Isokinetic muscle contraction is one in which muscle contracts and shortens at a constant rate of speed. An example could be doing the breaststroke in swimming. So when you're doing the breaststroke in swimming, one muscle contracts, and it shortens at a constant rate of speed. So you won't really, like, the speed wouldn't really vary when you're doing the breaststroke. Like, you keep it at a constant speed that you're comfortable with. Muscle fibers, the 3 muscle fibers, those are type 1, type 2A, and type 2B. The slow muscles are type 1 is a slow twitch fiber. So the slow muscles are more efficient at using oxygen to generate more fuel for continuous extended muscle contractions over a long time. Therefore, slow-twitch fibers help athletes run marathons and bicycles for hours. So this is all about reaction time. And so let's say somebody was doing like a marathon, they wouldn't really need a good reaction time. They wouldn't really need a good reaction time to like complete a marathon, because it's not really a race if you think about it. It's just about the energy that they're using, so they wouldn't really need a reaction time. Type 2A, these are fast-twitch fibers. They're also known as intermediate fast-twitch fibers. They can use both aerobic and anaerobic metabolisms almost equally to create energy. So 2 examples of this would be, let's say, a goalkeeper will be using like anaerobic metabolism, like sometimes, and like let's say somebody like a 400-meter runner, like a 100-meter runner will use it. It's just about reaction time, and it can be used aerobic and anaerobically, because a goalkeeper could need to react to a shot in football, and a 100-meter sprint will need to react to the shotgun. These fast-twitch fibers, type 2B, these fast-twitch fibers are used anaerobically metabolism to create energy, and are the fast-twitch muscle fibers that excel at producing quick, powerful bursts of speed. So a 400-meter will need this because, let's say, in the last 100 meters, or the last, let's say, 70 meters of the 400-meter sprint, they'll need a huge burst of speed because they're trying to run as fast as they possibly can to win the race. These are my references.